All praises be to the Most High Power, Hashem, for allowing us to see another day. Now, it's been a while since I made a video, simply being because I've been busy working. Also, the last video that I made, YouTube actually took it down. Not only that, they're actually taking away some of my subscribers, but it is what it is. This is their platform. I'm only utilizing it. Now, the topic, as you can see, is Roe versus Wade. Now, I want y'all to understand, family, that I try my best not to get too political on my channel, you know what I mean? But sometimes there's some things that I need to say. It's on my mind, so I might as well just express it. Got to be very careful, though. Now, how I look at this ruling with the Supreme Court, I look at the glass halfway full. You could look at it as it being halfway full, or you could look at it being halfway empty. Now, let me talk about my personal feeling in regards to this particular ruling. Now, I'm not a hypocrite, right? I'm not a hypocrite. I will admit, and I've made videos in the past letting you know that I pretty much contributed to abortion. You know what I mean? I've had situations where I had females that got knocked up or pregnant, and I facilitated their abortion when I was much younger in my before I actually became, let's just put it away, a young adult, because they said when you're 21 you're a young adult, right? So in my teen years, right, I contributed to abortion. So I'm not going to be a hypocrite and say, it is wrong for a woman to go out there and throw away a baby, because how I see it is this, right? A woman should have the right to choose what she do with her body. You know what I mean? The only thing that I am against is that you have people just going out there having fun, getting knocked up, and then decide, you know what, let me go, visit the pharmacy, get the morning after pill. Or in some cases, they might carry the baby a couple weeks, a couple months, thinking that might, keep the individual or the partner with them. You know what I mean? Sometimes you have women using pregnancy to keep the significant other or the partner. And I'm against that, you know what I'm saying? So you can't just use a baby as a pawn. And then when they feel like they're not going to get their way, guess what they do? They go to an abortion clinic and they get rid of it. And that I have a problem with. But as far as a woman choosing, whether she want to carry the baby or not, it should be totally up to her. I just don't feel like any man should be able to tell anybody what the fuck to do. You know what I'm saying? Bad enough we have all these laws of the land that's restricting us from doing what we want to do. And I'm not saying laws are not warranted at times, because if this was a lawless society, we'd be fucked. But I'm just saying, like, I don't think 3 men or 4 men, however many it was on the Supreme Court, should rule and to tell you what you should do with your body. Because first thing, when a woman carry an unwanted baby, right, that baby is not going to get the best care. You know what I'm saying? If she's not in a position to, let's say, have an abortion or get rid of it, if she carry that baby's, now, not to say that, what I'm saying, it can't happen where this person might have a change of mind once the baby is here. You know what I'm saying? Because I've heard situations where females go to the abortion clinic to go get an abortion, and then when they get to the abortion clinic, they see the long line, and then it dawned on them, like, how many unwanted pregnancy is here, and how many of these babies are going to be aborted. And see, what a lot of y'all don't understand, the reason why they actually voted for this vote, against this shit, is simply because, not because they care about black people aborting their children, it's because they care about the fact that not too many white people are having babies anymore. You know what I'm saying? It might be because of a career move, or just the economy, or, just people just don't want to have babies. White people I'm talking about, Caucasian. So now they're like making it illegal, because what they're trying to do, they're trying to bring back up their birth rate, because their birth rate has been declining for at least a decade or two. But they're not telling you that. Sometimes you might hear it here and there, but at the end of the day, that's all it is. It don't have nothing to do with them trying to save lives, because that's the case. If you're worried about saving lives, right, or bringing forth life, why don't they legalize, I wouldn't say legalize, but why don't they give free health care? Why the fuck you have to go to a doctor, right, to get a prescription, and then oftentimes you can't even afford to fill a prescription? You know what I'm saying? Why are they I don't even want to go there because I don't want them to strike this video. But I'm saying they always talking about they're pro-life, right? The Republicans, they're pro-life. But yet still, they gun us down on arm. They put poison in our community. They put drugs in our community. They put guns in our motherfucking community, right? And then they want to talk about pro-life. Then they have this so-called pandemic, this plandemic that was out there. Then they're giving you, a poke in your arm and shit, talking about that's going to fix the problem. Well, that's not. That's a poison. You know what I'm saying? Just basically just, I would say, festering. You know what I'm saying? Like a ticking time bomb. So how the fuck are they talking about pro-life, but at the same time they're killing people? They're poisoning the fucking air. The water we drink, putting fluoride in the water and all this shit to take us out by stealth. But yet still they're pro-life. The only reason why they're doing this, family, is simply because, again, I'm talking about my family, the so-called melanated family, is simply because there's a decline in the Caucasian race, and they are trying to reverse that. They think they're going to reverse it, but it ain't going to happen. And another thing is this, right? When they have all these kids, these unwanted pregnancy, where they going to put them? Because what's happening, a lot of these kids are being adopted out or put into foster care. Then you having, illegitimate quote unquote parents and shit adopting these children, abusing them, right? I've seen like a couple of cases where you have these so-called fucking Christian missionary going into Africa and Haiti, basically stealing the kids, and who knows what they're doing with these kids once they take them home. Because I know it's not for the better good of these children. You know what I'm saying? I've seen a situation where you had some event, what they call missionaries, went into Africa, and the little fucking young devil was molesting the children. You know what I mean? So my thing is this, right? You bring it, you want them to bring these unwanted children into the world, then what's going to happen to them? But again, family, I have to also look at the glass half empty, because at the end of the day, I still don't think that people should just go around just having a one-night stand, getting knocked up, pregnant. Oops, he did it again, and all of a sudden you're going to talk about you're going to abort a fetus because you don't want you don't want a baby. It's almost like you go to the motherfucking pet shop and you say, I don't want that fish out, I'm gonna put this fish back, let me get another. No, it don't work like that. It's a life. And I believe that at the end of the day, for those of us who participate, including myself, well, like I said, when I was younger, I participated in that shit. You know what I'm saying? We are going to be judged by the Most High. Let the Most High be my judge. Let the unseen power, the unseen quote unquote God, be my judge. I don't want no man telling me what I can and cannot do. You know what I'm saying? Even though I talk about Christianity a lot, if a person want to be a Christian, that's on them. But I'm just saying, this shit ain't doing nothing for black folk. Jesus ain't doing a motherfucking thing for black people. He have never done so in the past, and he damn sure ain't doing it now, because every time you pick up your cross and follow Jesus, you're going to meet death. All his disciples, every last one of them that picked up their cross and followed Jesus, what happened? They all was martyred. I'm not being a martyr for a motherfucker that I've never met. You know what I'm saying? I probably like, why? What this got to do with abortion? It has a lot to do with abortion. You know what I'm saying? Because you always have man trying to negate and tell you how you should think, how you should, feel, what you should do, how to talk, trying to control you, a man. So if a man is going to tell me what the fuck to do, who's going to tell them what to do? Who's telling the Supreme Court, the Supreme, that's you hear the key word, the Supreme, what is so supreme about a man that shit like me, that bleeds like me, that relies on food, you know what I'm saying? You ain't no better than me because you might be in a position with a title. You gonna tell me what to do because you calling yourself the Supreme, because some dumbass appointed you into a position. Now you're gonna rule and tell a woman what she can and cannot do with her body, especially if she is raped. What if she is raped? And who the fuck would want to carry a baby, be a victim of a rape? In other words, the baby be a victim of a rape. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Like, who the fuck is going to say, okay, this person violently raped me, or in some cases, incest, right? My family member raped me, molested me, or whatever. I'm pregnant. This is the outcome. I'm pregnant, and I'm going to carry this baby to be reminded of the crime against you. That shit makes sense? And this is what they're trying to do. And I'm going to tell y'all a little secret, black folks. The majority of people, right, women that actually do abortion is Caucasian. Believe it or not. Y'all be surprised, because a lot of them don't want no baby. They don't want a responsibility. You know what I'm saying? And I know we niggas, we do it too. Black people, and I call y'all niggas because, it's a difference between blacks and niggas, because you do have some ignorant niggas out there will go out there, get knocked up, and like, all I have to do is just have an abortion. With that kind of mind frame, I don't support that. You feel what I'm saying? So what I'm saying to y'all, family, is that the end of the day, I believe that a woman should have the right to choose. It's between her and her quote unquote God. At the end of the day, she's gonna have to stand before that creator and give an account as to why she did what she did. And I'm sure that Supreme Court, whatever the fuck, ain't gonna be there. And I'm sure another thing, they talk about they pro life, which I'm to a degree. I am pro life. I don't believe in people just going around having an abortion unnecessarily, but they're saying they pro life. I hope, when these kids start to come about, I hope they have a room for their ass on their Supreme Court steps. You know what I'm saying? Because they're always trying to say, well, it's right for this person to have this right and blah, 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 blah. At the end of the day, in reality, when shit hit the fan, they're nowhere to be found, family. So again, not saying I support the shit, not saying, I'm against it. All I'm saying, I'm in between. I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place. Because on one hand, I think a woman should have the right to choose when it comes to her body. On the other hand, I don't think a woman should just go around having sex just for the hell of it and then using, the abortion clinics for refuge. I don't believe in that, because one thing I do realize in America, right? You have in the black community, you'll find liquor stores, you'll find abortion clinics somewhere nearby, right? Definitely motherfucking church, Christian church, white man church, and then you definitely will find these beauty salons. And all of these entities, these four entities, are detrimental to the black community. Because even as simply as a beauty salon, you might think the beauty salon is an innocent venue, it's a detriment to the black people. Because when they wear these synthetic hair, it have chemicals in it. It has chemical in it that you're putting in your hair, right? And put it on your head, on the crown of your head. That's why you see a lot of these black women with short hairs. Because number one, they put perm, right? Liquid iron, liquid hot comb in their hair. That's what perm is. To straighten their hair to look like the motherfucking oppressor, which to me it doesn't make sense. Then they putting colors in their hair, blonde hair. Even in the Bible it tells you to have blonde in your hair is a form of leprosy. But they want to look like the oppressor so much self-hate in the black community. They want to look, so they go to the beauty salon on a regular basis and putting these fucking chemicals in their hair. And then when they get bald-headed, they want to know why they bald-headed, why niggas ain't trying to fuck with them, rock with them, because they bald-headed. So you rather go out there and spend hundreds of dollars on your hair every year or every month, it's every week in some cases, than to just keep your hair natural, right? Like an antenna, a beacon to the Most High. Because if you notice, black people hair grow up. That's what they call afro. White people hair drop to the ground. They don't have no substance to their shit because they're not like us. Actually, white people have fur on top of their head. We have wool, you know what I'm saying? And wool is always more needed, you know what I'm saying? That's why they have cotton and picking cotton. If you look at even the substance of cotton, it's kind of, the texture is like wool. And even the sheep that they use, you know what I'm saying, to make wool, it's high value. It's high value. Now fur, yes, you can use fur to a degree and make certain kind of, clothing and so forth. But I'm trying to explain to y'all, family, our beauty, the black woman beauty is in her hair. And when you go out there and you use these chemicals and frequent the beauty supply store because you want to look cute for Saturday, right, to go get knocked up and shit, then next thing you know, on Monday, you run into the abortion clinic. All these shits correlate. Then you go to motherfucking liquor store because you feel so bad about what you did. Then you get drunk and the shit still ain't doing nothing for you. Liquor ain't doing no remedy for you. So now you go to the motherfucking church. You know what I'm saying? You go to the church, praying to white Jesus for forgiveness after you done committed a sin. All these shits correlate. Everything in the black community that you see is not to benefit us. Even a Chinese restaurant. You know what I'm saying? Even a motherfucking Chinese restaurant. Forget about Chinese restaurant. I remember when I was going to school. Let's get back to the liquor store. When I was going to school, right, back in the days, right, high school, 9th grade, 10th grade, every day, every morning, we used to stop at the corner store, not even a liquor store. Because, in the black community, you have liquor store. In the white community, you have winery and spirit shop, right? But every morning, I would say at least 4 times out of the week, every morning, weekday, we'll go to the corner store, right? We was like 15, 16. We knew the person that worked in the corner store. We was frequent flyers, so they allow us to come in there. And we used to buy 40 ounces for $1.50. I kid you not, 40 ounces of beer, malt liquor. 40 ounces of malt liquor for $1.50. And when we drink that shit, we would get fucked up. Sometimes just one of us would share I'm sorry, not one of us. Two of us would share the 40 ounce, and we'd be, we would be messed up family, and we'll go to school and just act a damn fool, not learning nothing. You know what I'm saying? This was my life, and this was back in like the 80s and shit, right? And now I look at it and I remember how I stopped drinking 40 ounce, right? Is one time I went to the store to get some orange juice, a quart of orange juice. And I remember the guy told me it was like, at the time it was like $2, $2.49 or something, like $2.29, $2.49. And I'm like, that's a lot of money. I mean, how are you charging so much for this little box of orange juice, and you charging $1.50 for that big beer over there? And while I'm asking a question, and this when I was like 16, the fucking answer came right to me. Like, wow, look at this shit. How is it that I'm paying $1.50 for 40 ounces of malt liquor, right? And the orange juice was supposed to, say 100% orange juice, Tropicana, 100% orange juice that have vitamin C and have all these nutritious value, right? Costs more than the 40 ounce. And I'm like, this shit don't make no sense. And even back then, family, I used to question everything. And I remember going to one of my friends, and I'm like, look, I went to the store this morning and bought a quart of orange juice, and it cost like $2.49. And that OE that we be drinking costs like $1.50. And he was like, so that's good, we get a deal. I said, nah, think about it. Why they make it so cheap, and why do you get so much? And of course, people with that are ignorant. They don't really, he said, what do I care? It's better than paying $2.50 for some Shisco. But back, we used to drink Shisco too at the liquor store. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying this to say, family, that I know I'm a little bit off topic, but my decision, how I feel about the decision on this thing, I believe like a person have the right to choose, but at the same time, I don't think they should take it for granted. For granted that the fact that okay, at the time anyway, but now it's just gonna change. But back then, family, people used to take advantage of the fact that they can go to the store with their go to the damn doctor's office with their Medicaid, right, and do away with a life. And I don't support that shit. And again, I'm not a hypocrite. I've participated in this shit. But when you're young and you're more, you're not really thinking about the consequences. You're kind of ignorant. So now that I'm older, I realize, especially when I look at my kids, I'm like, wow, I'm glad they're here. Just think about this question. Right? Think about this question. If you love your life and you love the position that you're in life, just think about what if your mother and father had decided to abort you, to do away with you. Let's say you have a beautiful home, you have a beautiful family. Let's say you have everything that you think is going for you, right? What if your parents had decided after a night of having fun, they was going to get rid of you and you wouldn't be here? And the circumstance of how you wouldn't be here would have been like somebody going up inside your mother and literally ripping you out of there. How would you feel about the matter? That's all I got to say. Think about that shit. Shalom.